All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about a rumor that is out that Bob Arum may actually be planning to try to block the Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford fight with a close to what is a mandatory title defense with Terence Crawford. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. is the biggest fight in boxing, or one of the biggest fights in boxing, depending on the person that you talk to. And I have been told that there is a chance that Terence Crawford may actually be forced to take a fight before that. I'm not sure how true it is. I've heard about this before, but let's go over that scenario. Before I do, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber or a regular subscriber, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do daily, and we do live streams daily. I think you'll really enjoy the boxing community that we have. All right, so here we go. All right, so there's a scenario in which Bob Arum may be able to block the Terence Crawford-Errol Spence Jr. fight and force Terence Crawford to have to defend his title against Josh Taylor, the 140-pound champion. Now, I am not saying this is going to be the case. I certainly hope that it is not, and I lean towards believing that it will not be the case. However, it definitely has to be acknowledged that it is a possibility for several reasons. The biggest one is that Josh Taylor has said that he can no longer make the 140-pound championship, the 140-pound weight limit, and that he is the what you call the WBO super champion. So as the WBO super champion, he is able to request a fight with the WBO champion as soon as he moves into that weight class. And if he decides to do that, that would be a fight with Terence Crawford. And I do believe that it would be a matter of timing. You know, clearly Terence Crawford has expressed his desire to fight Errol Spence Jr. in an undisputed fight. Errol Spence Jr. has expressed his interest to fight Terence Crawford in an undisputed fight. It's a fight that all the boxing fans want to see. So, as you know, you should then, if you've been a boxing fan for any reasonable amount of time, start looking around for reasons why something is going to happen to keep that fight from happening. Now, Josh Taylor, whose last fight I do believe was against Jack Cantrell, has been very, very clear that he cannot make 140 pounds. Bob Arum, before that fight, was pushing to say that the fight that he wanted to make was the Terence Crawford fight with Josh Taylor. And because they believe that that would be a very big fight, he wanted to try to do the fight in Glasgow, Scotland. But, you know, Terence Crawford was unwilling to sign with him on a one-fight deal. However, that mechanism of the WBO Super Championship is readily available for him to do that. Now, Teofimo Lopez had said that he was in negotiations with Josh Taylor to fight for undisputed fight at 140 pounds. So I'm hoping that that is actually what the case is, that that Teofimo Lopez would fight Josh Taylor and Josh Taylor would stay at 140 pounds. However, the likelihood of Bob Arum putting Teofimo Lopez in against Josh Taylor coming off of a loss, not quite how likely that is. Bob Arum had said in the past that, you know, he wanted to make sure that Teofimo Lopez was all the way healthy, that, you know, he didn't have any of the problems that he'd experienced, you know, physical problems that he had experienced before the George Kambosos fight, right? Before he was actually going to be willing to put Teofimo Lopez back in the ring. And honestly, man, coming off of a loss like that with Teofimo Lopez to fight Josh Taylor, that seems to me to be a little bit of a risk and just something more than likely to just, a thought that is out there for Teofimo Lopez or some type of conversations that they're having. I have a hard time believing that they're actually going to do that. You also had, just as a side note, you have Devin Haney, who said if he beats George Kambosos and becomes the undisputed champion at 135, that he's going to move up to 140 and try to push for the Josh Taylor fight up there. And I would love to see that fight. I wouldn't even mind to see the Teofimo Lopez Josh Taylor fight. I'd love to see 140 pounds get really, really hot. To have Josh Taylor go up to 140, though, go up to 147, I do believe is the most likely thing to take place for him. Whether or not that would be for a fight immediately or not, I can't say. And I would think, but I would kind of think that if he is the WBO super champion, I think he may actually have to have that WBO championship fight in his first fight. That is what Terence Crawford did when Terence Crawford went from 140 to 147, and he said Terence Crawford said if he's able to beat Errol Spence Jr. in the for undisputed at 147, that would be his next fight up there, with the winner of Jermell Charlo and Castano, right away, and because that's what that WBO belt allows you to do, right? So, my hope is that this is just, an attempt that Bob Arum considered, or this is something that, I hope this is not something that takes place. I think that the most likely scenario still is for Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford to fight one another, because that's what Terence Crawford wants to do. And if Terence Crawford says, look, I don't want to fight Josh Taylor, he may I guess he could just drop the belt. Of course, there are also, some other hurdles to the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight, like, the amount of money that these guys would be offering one another. Now Terence Crawford, or how much money would be available for the networks to make the fight and when the fight would be made. Terence Crawford, through his team member, Bernie the Boxer, said that there's nothing standing in the way of the fight. So hopefully what that means is there's nothing standing in the way as far as like the purse splits and this, that, and the other. However, I would not put it past Bob Arum. I would not put it past Bob Arum to throw a monkey wrench in the plan and force Terence Crawford to fight against one of his fighters and break up that undisputed deal. Because if Terence Crawford, well, first of all, Terence Crawford's not with him anymore, but if Errol Spence Jr. wins that, then all of those belts are over there with the PBC. Top Rank doesn't have any belts at 140 pounds. I could easily see if there was some way for him to get Josh Taylor to fight him, and then there was a purse bid. The purse bid would definitely push that fight to Glasgow, because who else is going to bid on the fight besides Bob Arum when Terence Crawford is while Terence Crawford is a promotional free agent. I'm not even sure who else would put the money in there to get that fight done. But anyway, certainly hope that's not the case, but definitely thought that was worth sharing in case, you see something happen down the line. Anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.